I'm drilling holes into this ordinary trash can and filling it with layered kitchen scraps and yard waste, so that by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn your own trash can into a mini compost bin that gives you dark, crumbly, garden-ready compost in about 4 to 6 weeks. First, here's what you'll end up with if you follow every step. A compact, pest-resistant, low-odor compost system that turns fruit and veggie scraps, coffee grounds, and dry yard debris into nutrient-rich black gold for your garden beds and containers. Instead of tossing food waste into the trash, you'll be recycling it into a soil booster that improves drainage, water retention, and plant health, all in a bin that can sit quietly in a corner of your yard, balcony, or garage. Step 1 is gathering the right materials so your compost bin works efficiently from day one. You'll need a sturdy plastic trash can, ideally 20 to 32 gallons, with a tight-fitting lid, a hand drill or power drill with a 1/4 inch bit, and a marker for placing your hole guides. For your compost ingredients, collect carbon-rich browns like shredded cardboard, torn newspaper without glossy ink or dry leaves, and nitrogen-rich greens like fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, and crushed eggshells. Having both browns and greens ready will prevent your compost from turning slimy or smelly, and will help it break down quickly. Step 2 is turning this trash can into a breathable compost chamber by adding drainage and air holes. Start by flipping the can over and drilling 10 to 15 holes in the bottom, spaced a few inches apart, so extra moisture can escape and air can reach the lower layers. Then drill rows of holes up the sides, about every 4 to 6 inches apart, from near the bottom up to just below the rim, so oxygen can move freely through the compost. These holes are what keep your compost aerobic, which means less odor, faster breakdown, and a healthier environment for the microbes doing all the work. Step 3 is choosing the perfect spot for your new mini compost bin so the conditions stay stable. Place the can on a few bricks or wooden blocks instead of flat on the ground to help airflow under the bottom and improve drainage. Tuck it in a spot that gets light shade or only gentle morning sun. This can be along a fence, beside a shed, or in a corner of your patio. Keeping the bin out of intense afternoon heat prevents it from drying out too quickly, while still allowing enough warmth to speed up the decomposition process. Step 4 is building the foundation layers inside the bin so it drains well and doesn't go anaerobic. Start with a thick 4 to 6 inch layer of browns on the bottom, using shredded cardboard, dry leaves, or torn newspaper to create a fluffy base that soaks up extra moisture. This bottom layer works like a sponge and an air cushion, preventing your greens from sitting in a wet, compacted mess. If you already have a handful of finished compost or good garden soil, sprinkle some over this base to inoculate the bin with beneficial microbes right from the start. Step 5 is adding your first mix of kitchen scraps and covering them correctly so you don't attract pests or create bad smells. Toss in a thin 1 to 2 inch layer of greens, such as chopped vegetable peels, fruit scraps, coffee grounds, and crushed eggshells, making sure large pieces are broken up to speed decomposition. Then immediately cover those greens with an equal or slightly thicker layer of browns, like shredded paper or leaves, until you can't see the food scraps anymore. This greens then browns pattern locks in odors, keeps flies away, and maintains a good carbon to nitrogen balance. Step 6 is dialing in the moisture level so the composting microbes stay active but not drowned. Lightly mist the contents with water using a watering can or hose with a gentle spray until the materials feel like a wrung-out sponge when squeezed. Moist, but not dripping. If you add a batch of very wet scraps, balance it with extra dry browns. If everything looks dusty and stiff, give it a bit more water. Proper moisture is one of the main reasons a trash can compost bin succeeds or fails. So take a moment to get this right at the start. Step 7 is establishing your ongoing routine, so this mini compost system almost runs itself. Each time you bring out a small container of kitchen scraps, open the lid, scatter the scraps in a thin layer instead of dumping a big pile in one spot, and immediately cover them with a layer of browns kept in a bag or bucket beside the can. Aim to keep your browns slightly ahead of your greens so the mix never turns wet and smelly. This habit turns daily food waste into steady input for your bin and prevents you from ever needing to fix a stinky mess later. You can make this routine even smoother by keeping a small, lidded container in your kitchen specifically for compost scraps and emptying it every day or two. Labeling a paper bag or bucket of browns next to your outdoor bin turns the whole process into a quick 2-step habit. Add greens, cover with browns, close the lid. When it's this easy, you're far more likely to stick with it and keep your mini compost system consistently active. Step 8 is aerating and mixing the contents to keep your compost breathing and breaking down quickly. Every 7 to 10 days, use a small garden fork or a sturdy stick to stir the materials from the top down, pulling outer, drier bits toward the center and bringing older material up for fresh air. If your can has handles and isn't too heavy, you can also lay it on its side, roll it back and forth a few times, then stand it back up. Mixing this way reintroduces oxygen, distributes moisture evenly, and can shorten your composting time from months down to just a few weeks. If you ever notice a sour or rotten smell when you open the lid, that's your cue to add more browns and increase how often you mix. Within a few days of improving airflow and balancing the ingredients, the odor should shift back to something much closer to damp forest soil. Regular aeration not only speeds up decomposition, but also keeps composting pleasant enough that you'll actually want to keep using the system long term. Step 9 is knowing what signs to watch for as the compost matures, so you don't stop too early. Over the next 4 to 6 weeks, you'll notice the volume in the bin shrinking as materials break down, and individual scraps becoming harder to recognize. The pile will feel warm in the first couple of weeks, then gradually cool as it finishes. When most of what you see is dark, crumbly, and uniform, with a pleasant, earthy smell, not like garbage, you're getting close to a finished batch of compost that's safe for your plants. Don't worry if you still see a few stubborn pieces like avocado pits, thick corn cobs, or large eggshell fragments. Those can simply go back in as seed material for your next batch. What you're really looking for is that overall, the contents look more like soil than trash. Trust your senses here. If it looks like rich earth, smells clean and earthy, and crumbles in your hand, you're ready to move on to using it in the garden. Step 10 is harvesting and using your finished compost to actually boost your garden. When you're satisfied with the texture and smell, scoop the compost out with a trowel or small shovel into a bucket, leaving any larger, unfinished chunks in the can as a starter for your next batch. Spread the finished compost as a 1 to 2 inch layer on top of garden beds. Mix it into potting soil for containers, or gently work it into the surface of the soil around existing plants. This homemade compost adds organic matter, feeds soil life, and helps your vegetables, herbs, and flowers grow stronger and more resilient. For seedlings and young plants, you can mix 1 part compost with 2 or 3 parts regular potting mix to create a gentle, nutrient-rich blend that won't burn tender roots. Established garden beds love a simple top dressing once or twice a year, especially before a new planting season or after a heavy harvest. Over time, this steady compost addition transforms even tired, compacted soil into a loose, living ecosystem that holds water better, drains well, and feeds your plants naturally. By now you've turned a simple trash can into a compact, efficient composting powerhouse that cuts your household waste, saves money on fertilizer, and fuels your organic garden. You drilled air and drainage holes, set the bin in the right spot, layered browns and greens, managed moisture, mixed regularly, and harvested rich, earthy compost your plants will absolutely love. If you found this DIY mini compost bin helpful, please give us a like, subscribe for more organic gardening and composting tips, and drop a comment telling me what you're going to compost first in your new trash can bin.